If you are serious about history and you value careful sourcing over sensationalism, subscribe to the History Bag now, because this channel exists for people who actually want to understand the past rather than consume recycled myths. What we are about to unpack is not pop culture UFO lore, but a case study in military secrecy, information control, and how historical narratives are constructed and reconstructed over time. Subscribing ensures you stay part of that deeper conversation as we dig into events that still shape how governments handle the unknown. The Roswell Incident did not begin as a mystery, and that fact alone should already sharpen your attention. In early July of 1947, a rancher named William Brazel discovered unusual debris scattered across his land near Corona, New Mexico. This was not a remote civilian outpost. Roswell Army Air Field was home to the 509th Bomb Group, the only nuclear-capable bomber unit on Earth at the time. Any historian of military infrastructure understands that this alone makes the incident historically significant, regardless of extraterrestrial claims. The first official press release matters more than most people realize. On July 8, 1947, the Roswell Army Air Field issued a statement saying it had recovered a flying disc. This language was not invented by civilians or tabloids, but by military public information officers. Within hours, that statement was retracted and replaced with the now famous weather balloon explanation. For historians, this reversal is the core problem. Institutions do not usually contradict themselves so publicly without pressure. The weather balloon explanation held for decades, but not because it was convincing. It held because Cold War secrecy demanded it. In the 1990s, the United States Air Force acknowledged that the debris was connected to Project Mogul, a classified program using high-altitude balloons to detect Soviet nuclear tests. This explanation fits the strategic priorities of the era and explains the need for secrecy. However, it does not explain the initial flying disc language or the testimony that emerged later. Witness testimony complicates the historical record, and serious historians do not dismiss it outright nor accept it uncritically. Military personnel such as Major Jesse Marcel later claimed the debris was unlike anything he had seen, describing materials that were lightweight yet impossibly strong. Civilian witnesses reported rapid military lockdowns and debris removal. These accounts emerged decades later, which raises questions of memory reliability, but the consistency across unrelated testimonies deserves careful analysis. What Roswell teaches historians and survivalist thinkers alike is how power responds to uncertainty. Governments prioritize stability, not truth dissemination. In a crisis involving unknown technology, information control becomes a survival strategy. This lesson is applicable today. If you are studying civil preparedness or institutional resilience, Roswell shows that official narratives are provisional, shaped by threat perception rather than public enlightenment. Practically, this means training yourself to read primary sources, track revisions over time, and ask why explanations evolve. Applying Roswell as a methodological tool is where it becomes most valuable. When researching any controversial historical event, document the first official statement, note changes, identify strategic pressures of the era, and compare civilian and institutional incentives. This approach is not about believing in extraterrestrials, but about understanding how states manage ambiguity. Survivalists can apply this mindset by questioning emergency messaging, preparing for gaps between official guidance and lived reality, and maintaining independent verification habits. The Roswell Incident endures not because of aliens, but because it exposes a fault line between authority and transparency that never fully heals. It reminds us that history is not a fixed record, but an evolving negotiation between evidence, power, and memory. That is why it belongs on the History Bag and why it deserves serious treatment rather than mockery or blind belief. If this kind of deep discipline history matters to you, subscribe to the History Bag, share this video with people who still respect evidence, and stay with us as we continue to unpack the past with clarity instead of noise.